Oh, in
Six.
4 here and 2 there.
Okay. Wow, we lucked out. Don, what an excuse, COVID.
I was trying to get 5 more days.
That was so 2020.
Yeah, so out of touch. Oh. Oh, should we get Mortensen's ice cream tonight?
Bill's going
Delivered, right?
We're good to go.
Okay, we're good, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to open the Park and Rec meeting for Tuesday, March 21st. I can't read. 2023, and the time is about 6:07. We please have a roll call.
Sure, Jay
Melissa.
Vitalico,
Here.
Richard De Silva,
Here.
Billy De Blasio,
Here.
Eileen Francolino.
Here.
Tom Gill. Tim Hot Wagner, we know isn't here, Anthony, we know isn't here, Matthew Kolowski. Ed Marchand,
Oh, easy.
Phil Payne,
Stop.
Present.
Stop.
Okay,
and Don Woods.
Somebody.
we have a. quorum,
Mr.
right?
Chairman.
Might be Tom Gill.
Thank you. We stand for the pledge of allegiance. Hey, Tom.
Hi, Tom, how are you? We're doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have approval of the minutes of February 21st, 2023. Any additions, subtractions?
I have a question about them.
Go ahead.
Somewhere in here, and I can't find it right now, we talked about that motion that we made and approved about the town council, putting that money aside for the pool.
Cool.
And I don't know if it came out, if it was in the right. Can't find it.
There's something on E and.
Oh,
Third
yeah.
page.
The ARA money, is it supposed to say ARPA money and not ARA money? Which is the one that's Obama money and which is the one that's the COVID money?
American Revolution.
Yeah, restoration, isn't it?
I think it's the ARPA.
I think it's the ARPA. Yeah, I think ARPA is the one that it's supposed to say, not ARA. I think ARA is Obama money, I'm pretty sure.
American Restoration.
No.
This one.
Reinvestment, American Recovery and Reinvestment Act.
Yeah, that's Obama money. That's ARA is Obama money. I think ARPA is what we want on there, right?
ARP.
Yes, yes, I think ARPA is, American Rescue Plan.
Okay.
So it should say ARPA money, not ARA.
Can you make the correction, Monique? Okay. Anything else you want to add, subtract? Can I have a motion to accept?
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as amended.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Did we have a second for the motion?
Ed, can you hear us still?
Oh,
Okay, so you can vote too when you're voting.
Okay, public participation.
You're on, Mr.
God.
Warrington.
Sorry, I didn't know I was supposed to.
Mr. Mortensen.
So I'm coming today to speak on behalf of the men's basketball league in town. Oh, sorry, Todd Mortensen, 62 Patriot Lane. So speaking on behalf of the men's basketball league, don't know the exact number, I'd say roughly 100 people that participate, but kind of spoke to each team and have a couple questions, essentially looking to get the answers for just about the future of the league moving forward. I'll try to go as quick as I can. I feel bad taking up your time, but last year we had a full league with 16 teams and the cost was $1,100 per team. We played 8 games a night, so everyone played 10 games and then 3 rounds of playoffs. This year, same league, but we ended up losing about half the teams because the price increased to $1,650 per team. I should add, this is also assuming if you have any out of towners, which I'm pretty sure maybe one team doesn't, but pretty much every team does. That's how we get the $1,100 and $1,650. Just for a comparison, one person I know who had a team last year, they've always played, they're a Newington resident. They left the league this year and told me it was because of the price increase. They now play in Southington. I checked their Parks and Rec website and their cost for their league is $650. And their schedule actually has 2 more games. So our league is a full $1,000 more than theirs. And you know, we understand some price increases. I've been playing league for like 10 years. Obviously, things don't say exactly stacked. That's a large increase. And then on top of that, because we only had 9 games, we only played 1 game at a time. So even though there was only 1 game being played, we still only used half the gym. The divider wasn't up and the other half was empty for, I would say, almost every single week. Over the course of the season, we were told it was because the plan was to rent out the other half of the gym, which makes sense. I think I can think of 1 game that we played where there was someone on the other half, the divider was up. But even when I at one point, I think it was 5 weeks into the season, I asked about, hey, is there a chance that we could, when it's not rented out, use the Premier Court? I actually talked to Jeff Taddeo, who I believe he's the head referee. I know he referees some of the games. And he kind of chimed in on the email too, saying it is a bit of a safety issue when we play with only half. There's only like 2 or 3 rows of bleachers for people to sit because we do have family members. That's where people, you know, change their shoes before games, stuff like that. There's no room going out of bounds. And the answer we got was basically that no one has rented it to this point, but somebody could. So as players in the league, we're all kind of like, you know, we're paying more than any other league around. We should be using, I think you guys call it the Premier Court when you use the full gym if there's only 1 game going on. In addition, like I said, this season was shortened. We only, even before we knew how many teams were in, only 4 teams were going to make the playoffs when last year 16 did. So they're actually tomorrow night. So there's 3 total games. There's a semifinal, and a championship. It's all going to be played in one night. I guess we're going to do it 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Then there's an hour break. And then there's a whole nother game. In 10 years, we've never had to play 2 games in one night. I know I was told it's because I think it's next week you guys are resurfacing the floor, which again, that makes sense. We're not unreasonable. That's a maintenance thing that has to happen. But we are kind of wondering, what if we had a snow day? We got lucky this year. Usually 1 or 2 weeks get canceled because of snow. We also, the season got delayed a week because we're supposed to start on, I believe it was the 14th. Yeah, on the 14th, and then they reopened registration for another week and pushed it off to try to get more teams in. I don't know if anybody signed up in that 1 week period, but it's kind of things like that where if we had started on time, we probably wouldn't have had to try to do all the playoffs in one night. So the big thing is the cost, and then just another kind of note. As I said, I've been playing the league for I think it's 10 years now. We always used to do a captain's meeting at the start of the season. We haven't done that since COVID, which is fine, but that's when we would go over like, do we want to change anything? Do people have questions, whatever. At that meeting, or just in general through playing and being here whenever it is, it's always been suggested to us that we should have somebody step up and run the league and rent the courts out. I know the softball league in town made that switch like 4 or 5 years ago. I think that's worked out great for all parties because Parks and Rec, you guys have the field rented out. Someone else handles scheduling, getting umpires there, whatever. We've been asked, hey, does anybody want to step up and do that? Nobody has. But Jeff, that same referee I mentioned, I apologize, he's not the head referee, but I think he schedules them. He told me he inquired. He actually asked me if I knew anybody in the Parks and Rec department because he said he asked about running a league. Was told they didn't know if they could fit him in, maybe if anything, the weekends. So I don't know if that's something that could help moving forward is give him that our Wednesday night time slot to let him rent out the courts and run the league. Because basically the kind of general consensus among the players and talking to other team captains is we lost half the teams this year. What's going to happen next year and what the price increase will be. But I think if anything, the number one question that everyone said, hey, can you ask this? Because why did our league increase by $550 to have a shorter year and not get to use the full gym? So sorry if I rambled a little, but thank you.
I'm very legitimate.
Any questions?
Do you feel like people aren't gonna come back?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I know my team personally this year, when we saw the league fee, there was such a huge increase that we had the debate of, do we want to play again or not? And I think our consensus was, all right, you know what, let's do it. We all want to play. Now after looking and seeing that, yeah, you have to drive to Southington, but it's $1,000 less to play and you kind of get a little bit more out of it. I've had a couple people, we kind of, not to say joking, have been like, I don't know if there's going to be a league next year because it seems like it's trending in the wrong direction. If you get down to like 4 or 5 teams, I don't know at that point if it's worth it to run a league. I think it would kind of depend to see how much it would cost again the next year because, I have a local restaurant that is nice enough to give us a little to go toward to sponsor as it, but at this point it's when it was $1,100 that already it was decently like when I say it seemed like the upper, if you took all the leagues around, that was kind of the top end, but that's okay, that's reasonable. But to jump from 1,100 to 1,650, I thought it was a typo the first time I saw it, to be honest.
Todd, do the players themselves kick in most of the money, or do you have any sponsors or no?
So my team, I got a sponsor.
Yeah.
Going off
I
of
would figure that, yeah.
well, it's actually not Mortenson's.
Yeah.
I would say going off of the team names, it seems like it's mainly like, I don't want to single any team out, but like one team is South End Bakery and the owner of South End Bakery is on the team. So I think it's more everybody kicks in. Even with I've always tried to get sponsors and usually have gotten at least one to give even just a little bit because there's not a ton. It's not like this is a gym full of people with advertising. We do have fans come and we in turn go there and try to support them. But even with sponsor, I actually had 2 sponsors this year and we still have to cover quite a large amount because it's so much more than previous years. I would say if I had to guess, or just not guess, but I can think of 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 9 teams that it's definitely just the owner, like somebody who's self-employed, named their team after themselves. I don't know if they kicked in personally other than just their share or not, but I know one team was just called the Hawks. I would assume that they just paid out of their pocket.
With this fee, when would you know how many teams you would have?
I would say, well, I would assume, so we got an email, I think it just went to everybody who had a team last year, and it said, hey, here's a link if you want to register. Online is forms, the cost, when it's going to run, things like that. So we registered and we don't know until they send the schedule out. So once we got the schedule, I saw, oh, okay, there's only 9 teams now. Last year they had a full 16, so we would do still the same time slots this year, 6, 7, 8, and 9, but 2 games at once. So everybody played this year there was an odd number. So every team got 2 weeks off, which that happens.
Yeah.
You can't control that odd number, but it was just as close as you get to half without being half the teams that dropped out. And one specifically I know told me it was because of the cost.
How many of the teams were like long-term teams that left? Like new teams that dated 1 year and said the heck with it because of the cost, or were they established teams that were around?
Probably a mix.
What was the team that told you they were leaving because of the cost?
I don't know their name. I just know the person.
Who's the person?
I don't know if I want to throw someone under the bus. I know they're a resident in town. I know they played.
My son's
last year.
team left, I know,
Okay.
because of the cost, because they gave it to me and I'm like, I don't have to do with it. If you
Yeah,
don't want to pay, don't play. What am I gonna tell them?
right. And
It's a lot of money, 'cause like you said, they didn't get sponsors, so they're hanging up just like softball.
so last year was our first, there was a year off in the league with COVID,
Yeah.
which made sense. And there were some changes last year, some that I like were, not everything's all bad. There are good things. There's great, we get updated standings weekly and scheduled, like the schedule update. That's nice. We, in the past, didn't get that as much, things like that. But when that change happened, I want to say we jumped, the league used to be like, it would hover between 13, 14 teams. Then COVID happened. Last year's 16, I would say a good chunk of them we're a long-term team, like we're a long-term team. South End Bakery is a long-term team. And then it's more, there's players that they might be on a new team, but I don't know if I could even tell you the guy's name, but I played basketball against him for 10 years. Just they formed new teams, people swapped, whatever. Some of it might be because teams dropped out, like Nick Galicio used to sponsor 2 teams. There was the bar and then the bar and grill.
Yeah.
So there's still people where I'll be like, oh, remember that guy? He played on the bar or something like that. But there's definitely, when the COVID year broke it up, we definitely got some new teams coming into it last year, but I don't think there's any team this year, other than maybe one really young team that was new, but a couple of them had played before.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Bill, is there any way of knowing why the price raised so much? The
Mr.
big
Chairman.
difference in price? Why?
Usually we don't respond at public participation, but if you want me to, I'm certainly happy to.
Go ahead, I'd like to hear the answer.
Okay.
If it's all right with the rest of the board.
Yeah, so I can understand Todd's concerns. However, no one understands the price of the cost of doing business. So we took a look at all the adult sports teams. First of all, you know that we have to raise $2 million a year to run this department. We get no taxpayers' money. So we can't lose money. And what we found was we were losing money in men's basketball in a big way, to the tune of thousands of dollars. The Parks and Rec department can't charge a 5th grader to come to exercise the right choice and pay for adult sports. That doesn't make any sense. So we had 6 teams. That's why I told Roderick to send out another email. We picked up 3 new teams in that 1 week. The bottom line was we couldn't break even with 6 teams or less. So we were going to cancel it. So what we did was we decided to go 1 more week and see if we could pick up some teams. The other thing is there's a great deal of people from out of town that are not taxpayers in Newington. So the numbers are staggering. And we charge them extra, and that's okay, but it's still not, they don't contribute to the overall good common sense or economics of Newington. The next thing happened was we had to go with adult, high school officials that their prices went up. And I don't believe that comment that you made about Jeff Taddeo. Jeff Taddeo and I have been friends for probably 30 years. So he knows who's at the Parks and Rec department. He knows Roderick Smith. He knows our rec supervisors. So I'll have to fight that one. 2 teams that dropped out told me personally, they did it because we changed the day we usually played on Sunday mornings and Thursdays. We went to what, Wednesdays?
Yes.
Okay, so 2 teams dropped out because it wasn't convenient for them to play on Wednesdays. Okay, that's not my problem. And then lastly, we had to fill in costs of police. And we were having so many difficulties with fights and everything else that we had to build in the cost of having a police officer stop by. And as you know, there was a giant fight during men's basketball, and we had to call the police. There was a potential arrest. We had to negotiate that all. We spent a great deal of time trying to get people out. We gave technicals, and then we canned 2 people out for 1 game because that's in our rules and regulations. And then we kicked out a person for the rest of the season. Then I had to hire a cop to come the next week to make sure that guy, because he threatened to come back into the game to watch. And we told him there would be no trespassing, and we had the police deliver that message. So there's a lot more to this than what you think. And we have to hire a hall monitor to secure the bathrooms because they were getting vandalized. So there's a little bit more to this than just meets the eye. And we love adult sports, we love kids sports, but everybody's got to make money and break even. So if you take 10 people on your team at $1,600, it's $160. That's not much different than what we charge first graders to play youth soccer or Little League, about $100 to $150 a season. So that's kind of what happened, and that's the explanation. It's nothing different than that. And we're trying to break even and make money. If we have aggravation with getting Newington police involved and our supervisors and doing investigations and all that. It's quite frankly, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. That's our side of the story.
Any other questions?
Do you have to pay to have a police drive by? Is there a charge for that?
If we have them for 2 hours, 4 hours, or 6 hours.
No, but if they're just like dropping in, is there a charge for that?
No.
No, it's only if they're on private duty, whatever.
Any other questions?
And we had a transfer of recreation supervisors too that were in charge. So what happened in the past is different than what happened in now because it's a different accounting system and newer. We have a guy now that has his master's degree in sports management. So he's more conscious of the dollars and cents.
Any other discussion? Okay, let's move on then. Next item is a donation letter from Pam, Labor.
If this was just a nice letter from Pam in regards to, she donated $100 and towards the ride, and we gave her, the commission voted to waive her expenses.
Thank you note from kindergarten in Patterson School.
Yeah, they visit once a year. They had a great time and our rec staff and secretarial staff helped out and made it a pleasant experience of them learning about government.
Okay.
Oh, and I think Elliot also played games with the kids. I think what they were first graders from Patterson, kindergarten. So yeah, so they got a chance to run around in the gym a little.
Any questions on the monthly report?
Nothing
That
nothing else.
Melissa does a heck of a stipend, Jeff.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Wow.
Melissa's an ace. And we have, I think Nancy Glenn is here. Is it? Yeah, Nancy's our new rec supervisor also. She's a superstar in regards to aquatics and preschool and programming and all that. So happy she's on board with us.
Tree report,
Taking down trees
Report,
left and
taking
right
down trees.
everywhere and trimming and complaining and we're doing all the best we can, but it's the guys.
I have a question.
Yep.
Why did they take all the trees down at Bertucci's? That wasn't us, right? That was the owner of the property?
Oh, if that's a private property,
Yeah,
that's
it's private.
that's not us.
I know a lot
Oh,
of
you're-
people were bitching and moaning about that.
Yeah.
Cause they took all the trees down.
Well, I mean, again, some people say that to me, but if you own your property, right, and you own your backyard,
Right.
you want to take a tree down, you take a tree down. It's not our,
Okay, here's the big one. Mill Pond geological update.
okay,
Uh,
so. Again,
Thank you.
yep, thanks, Don.
thanks, Todd.
The mill pond thing, as you know, we try to change locations everywhere we possibly could. And we talked about it at length, and I don't want to belabor the points, but Mike Fortuna, our TLB architect, just by chance, that at the town council meeting, they were saying, do this, do that, do this. Mike Fortuna had the geotech guys, they were driving by, and I gave you the email, and an email states that they double checked the wells, because we have observation wells in the different locations, and at the playground area where I believe the mayor said, she would rather see the pool at the playground. And we thought the water table was 6 inches, but actually it was 2 inches. So, it's a science. This isn't about Bill DeMayo. It's not about the Parks and Rec Board. It's not about anybody thinking anything different. We would put that pool anywhere in the park if it could scientifically make sense and work. But the fact of the matter is, on Garfield Street over here, we're outside the wetlands and it's 4 to 5 feet of water table. The interesting point that Mike Fortuna made to me that's new is that he said with a water table of 2 inches, soon as you pour the concrete of a new pool, not only will you have the hydrostatic pressure, but you will also begin to have the thaw and frost and thaw thermal imbalance will start to erode the concrete the day you pour it. So he said it makes no sense at all to do that. So that's the thing we're up against. Don, so what happened was Friday, I got a call from Mitch Page, the councilman, who said he had an agreement with the mayor for us to come on March 28th to the town council meeting to explain to the town council themselves, because they've never seen the full presentation of, from Mike and myself, to answer all the facts. And so I called Jay and Don and said that, and they put together an editorial, and Don was going to read it, but I think you have it. You could read it.
I printed it.
Okay, why don't you read that? This is what came out or was sent by Don and Jay this week. This is a follow-up.
Dear residents of Newington, we are writing to inform you about the poor condition of the two existing outdoor pools, Churchill and Mill Pond. As many of you know, these pools are in dire need of repair and renovation. They have outlived their life expectancy. The town council has been working hard to find a solution to this problem. We are pleased to announce that there is a golden opportunity right now for potential state bonding funding of a new Mill Pond pool and splash pad on Garfield Street. The town council has a chance to commit the $4 million of American Recovery and Reinvestment funding to this Mill Pond pool project. If the town council commits the federal money to this project, then the state legislators are willing to apply immediately for $5 million of state bonding money. This would enable us to fund a $10.6 million project with federal and state funding paying for 90% of the cost. This is an unprecedented opportunity for our town, and we believe that it is essential that we take advantage of the funding. We cannot stress enough how important this project is for our community. A new Mill Pond pool and splash pad on Garfield Street would provide a safe and enjoyable place for our families to cool off during the hot summer months. It would also be a valuable asset for our town. It will give preschoolers, older adults, and people with disabilities the opportunity to enjoy the pool with their friends. Let's make Newington a better place to live, to work, live, and play. We thank you for your attention to this matter and urge you to take action today. At the upcoming town council meeting on Tuesday, March 28th, 2023, the town council may host a Mill Pond pool presentation outlining all of the facts and figures. Please show your support during the public participation portion at the beginning of the meeting. Let's work together to make this project a reality and improve the quality of life for all residents of Newington. Sincerely, Jay Batalico, Chairperson of the Newington Parks and Recreation Board, and Don Woods, Vice Chairperson of the Newington Parks and Recreation Board.
Thanks, Melissa. So what's happening is we're not positive now that March 20, I believe leadership is meeting right now, and we'll decide if we get on the agenda for May 28th. But I suspect that there will be some people that show up anyway and talk during public participation. I would love for, Mike Fortuna said, if I could just let the council know the facts, they would really understand it better why we're making the decisions we're making. So that's kind of what's going on. I know that the library is concerned about parking, but my answer to that is, yes, we have a parking problem in this government center. However, it's not a new problem. The community center and the pool have been open for the last 2 years. The pool is 500 feet away. There will be no additional parking than they experienced in the last 2 years. And the kids use the pool during Monday through Friday. They don't drive. And on Saturdays and Sundays, the pool open at 1 o'clock. And there's no town hall employees here, so they can park all they want here. So that's the parking issue, the water table issue. Why do you want it here at Mill Pond Park? Because we have the existing community center, which has air conditioning, has the different amenities that are needed to run a summer camp, an after-school program during the school year, and a preschool. So to have a splash pad here open from April 1st to October 31st, how wonderful would it be to allow the 45 kids from preschool go use the splash pad? And how great would it be for the Exercise the Right Choice, the kindergarten through 8th grade 100 kids that come every other Tuesday here to use the pool and the splash pad. And how wonderful, and by the way, as you all know, and I brought to your attention, the legislators at the state are trying to license municipal summer camps. It probably won't go this year because we put up quite a fight, but it's ultimately going to happen next year, the year after. If that's the case, there's no way the town of Newington is going to build a community center at Churchill Park to have the drinking fountains and the nursing stations and the air conditioning and the stalls and all that. That's never going to happen, nor would I even encourage that. And then lastly, someone said that, or two things. Lastly, someone said that the people that come from out are more than 50% of the people come to this pool at Mill Pond. I can't believe that. I would say 99.9% are Newington residents. I don't believe people from Weathersfield to Rocky Hill drive to Newington pools to swim. And I don't believe Newington people drive to Weathersfield or Rocky Hill to use their pools. Just doesn't make any sense. To get a pool pass in Newington at Parks and Recreation, you must be a Newington resident. So that I'm going to have to say, I don't believe is true. And let's see. So that was that the location, the things. I'm trying to think of the other arguments that we're trying to. I want to just set the facts straight. Oh, and someone said that Bill DeMayo would then come and ask for $20 million to build a new pool at Churchill. That is not the case. I have never said that. I think Churchill Pool will crumble just like Mill Pool is going to crumble. I hope to God no one gets hurt, no kids, no parents, no anything. I'm hoping that we use our brains and take the $9 million for free because we're never going to get this opportunity again. Let's not make the parking problem a pool problem. Let's get a new pool and a splash pad, make this community good. We'll probably end up bringing the summer camp kids at Churchill here, and we'll rotate them from the two gyms, air conditioned, to the pool, to the splash pad, to the park, and then keep rotating. That would be a programmable solution. So I think that answers most of the things that got put on the table that, needed more facts to be given. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Go ahead, Arlene.
I have several questions. First of all, I think it's really hard to ask the public to support come in to support a project that they haven't seen on the 28th. And I would really like the plans and the pictures to be put online so people know what we're talking about, because it's really hard to get the support we need.
Can you write that down, please? And we'll
The other
put it on
thing I would
website.
like to suggest is that if it comes back that you're not going to be able to make a presentation on the 28th, is there any way that we as a board can have a meeting and open it to the public to make this presentation to any public who wants to come?
Sure.
I think that would be smart.
But that wouldn't help. It's really what has to happen is the town council has to commit the $4 million right away. If they don't commit the 4 million, the state's not going to get the 5 million.
Correct, I understand it. But
oh.
my question is, if we know tonight that there isn't going to be, you're not going to be able to speak on the 28th, can't we have a public meeting before that? We as the Parks and Rec Board, that's open to the public so people could see it online, could see it in person, and then come on the 28th and say, hey, this is a really great idea. I think we really need to do it. I think it would be a something that might build support. And the other question I have is, this is just me being cranky, my favorite people at the library. Am I dreaming, or do the library employees park in public parking during the day?
I don't know the
I would
answer.
imagine.
Yeah, they don't park in their own parking. I think they park down below and they park in public parking. So how can they tell us we can't park up there?
They
when
can't, they
park down
can't,
here?
they can't
I
really
just
do
don't
that.
understand it. It drives me up a wall. But I don't know. And I would think that, it's no farther to walk from the playground, the parking lot at Mill over to a pool than it is to walk from the parking lot at Churchill over to the pool there. And it's really not that much farther to park at the senior center and cross the street to go to the library. There's plenty, there's parking that's usable, but people are choosing not to use it because we're all spoiled and lazy and we don't want to walk. but you know, it's gotta walk.
In 2 years from now, I suspect that the town will solve the parking problem, either with the bus garage or the OFI or something.
OFI is farther than the senior center. You know, people will walk from the senior center. Why are they gonna walk from OFI? I wouldn't walk from OFI. I park at the senior center. You know, or you park down there. There's always parking at the police department. There's always empty spots there, but people just don't want to walk. And that's, well.
I think that the architect, Mike Fortuna, said there was like 444 parking spaces available.
Yeah, so there's.
If there's 3 in a car, that's 1,200 people.
People just
The
don't.
mayor called me on this,
Yes.
and her contention was the parking is, whoa, wait a minute, Beth.
Mhm.
There's nothing we can do about the parking.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Board of Education owns the buses, and until they do something there, well, we're dead, you know? Rich, go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That was kind of what I wanted to tack on about. We've been trying to get that parking lot where the buses are for quite a while now. And it would especially be useful during the extravaganza and any of the major events that we have here at the park. Perhaps if we can start talking to the Board of Ed and securing that parking lot, or at least half of it, it might sway the council, since the majority of what I'm hearing from them is the parking issue. If we can possibly secure about half of that parking lot over there where the buses are, because there's already sidewalks and crosswalks there, people will park there and walk across to the pond, to the pool. So maybe we can start reaching out to the Board of Ed and seeing if we can get that. I believe one of their meetings is tomorrow, so we can probably go and bring that up in public participation.
To be true with you, Rich, I don't think we have any say on what they're gonna do with that parking lot. The council can't even get them to change. And everybody knows those buses should be out of here. Now, how many years has this been going on? And
Over 60.
we could all go to the Board of Education, and I'll tell you right now, you're not gonna get nowhere.
They're tyrants.
But if somebody didn't like what you were doing with your backyard and came over, I don't want your yard because I think I can do something better with it. Would you give it to them?
No.
No.
You know, that's just the way it is, you know, and really to make any parking down there, you have to take down that whole damn building because that's where the space is and. that's
And
a
plus
lot
you
of
gotta
money.
find a place for the buses.
Right, you gotta find a place for the buses, you have to take that building down, that's all have to be remediated, because I'm sure it's full of crap. And it would be a whole lot of money, and it's not our land. It's like, I want your house back, you know, it's like.
Okay, like I said, the mayor did call me and her big problem with the parking is Beth. For 500 feet, the parking is not going to change here. Well, we'd like to see it by the playground. I said, do you think this board, when we had our meeting, didn't go through every possible location? And you gotta go by the boring. And, you know, I don't know what else to say.
Well, it's not the first time this has come up either. I've been on this board since like 2005. I think I can't even count the amount of times we've discussed the replacement of this pool. This is obviously the best deal, the smartest deal, it makes the most sense. So the way towns usually operate, if it's dumb, do it. So they're not gonna do it, but somebody's gonna pay drastically in the future. And if you think about, I'm not a lifelong resident, but I'm looking at the things in the 20 years that I've been here on this board or whatever. We've renovated just about everything in this town except for these pools.
Yeah.
Or built new things.
Yeah. Or renovated, even like these buildings got
What
renovated
town-
3 times.
Yeah, what town building has not been renovated for 50 years or 60 years?
60 years.
Those buses get replaced every 5 years or every 3 years. The police cars get replaced. It's a program. It's, you know, we're giving back to our community and longevity here. We can't be stupid.
That playground is definitely the most used playground in town.
And it's the oldest one.
It's old, it needs some updating.
I
but-
mean, it would be
So,
wonderful if we could put the pool there,
Yeah, but.
but the borings tell us no.
We have the same problem.
Well, you know, then she said, well, how about if we put it in the same place? Like, here we go again. You know.
Bill?
You know, cause,
Mhm.
yeah, but it's,
I got like to make a comment. Bill, does the town council know that what you see on the inside of those pools is 10 times worse on the parts you can't see with the concrete.
Yeah, I don't know what they know.
I mean, that's something that they should know. They should also know that.
Yeah.
That pool, when that pool is gonna fail at some point, it's not gonna fail in a little spot. The whole wall's gonna cave in.
Yeah, you know, that's a true statement.
Well, Ed, the last meeting I asked Mike, what's the chances of caving? And he says, until you do a study, he wouldn't even touch it.
I wouldn't.
You know, until you dig it
I'm in the
out.
business.
Take a look at the concrete.
And then his next sentence was, but when concrete fails,
Fails,
it's
it
catastrophic.
fails.
Right,
Concrete doesn't fail in little spots. It fails at a whole big spot. You know,
Right.
the whole wall's gonna cave in.
you know, and God save if someone's in that pool and that thing goes.
Yeah.
I think Nicole had her hand up, but I don't know. if
She's
she's
told.
Okay,
It was from earlier.
Oh,
okay.
go ahead, Tom.
Okay, I read a article in the Real Reminder, I think it was. And there was inference to the pool building committee. Now, what I got out of it was that the town council is saying that the pool building committee has to be re-upped or put into place.
Why?
I,
Oh, well, you know, this is the way I look at it. It's like the town hall, take forever. We were given a project to do at the building committee. We sat down with the architect, we discussed every possible place, what kind of a pool and everything. I mean, what else can change?
And they voted 4-3.
Yeah,
And so, and it said, pass it on to the town council.
right.
And John Donahue was given those orders from the committee to present it to the council back in, I think it was May and August of 2021.
Well-
So they don't like, yeah, so if they don't like the answer, they say, okay, let's do a do-over.
Well, what's the do-over? Does that,
Pass the buck is all it is.
that's all it is, passing the buck.
I have something to say.
So the building committee will be responsible for catastrophic failure and then remodeling in 10 or 11 or 12 million. When we need to do it in 2 years or next year.
Well, I don't know. Some of the people on the committee wanted to wash their hands of it because of some of the reasons that you just stated. You know, we were given a job. This is what we come up with. Give it to the council. Now it's your hands. So, you know, we've been, especially Churchill, we've been leaking water there for how many years? Where's the water going? That's the problem. Anything else? What do we got now? Filter renovation?
Yeah, I just, is that what it is, field trip?
Yeah.
Yeah. As you know, we put in field turf renovation for capital improvement program. It's guaranteed for 8 years. I think it's the 12th or 13th year of it. It's, you know, seam ripping at the seams. So we put that in, and I think I've heard only positive comments about support from council people. And I wanted to make sure that you guys, I think we did a consent when we were doing the budget process, but I think I was interested to have a formal vote to make sure that I can positively speak on your behalf to say you know about the replacement of the field turf and support it. That's kind of what I was looking for, if you so desire.
What do we got? About 12 years in it now?
I think 12 or 13, I can't remember
I
exactly.
think it was 2010.
It's only good for 8 to 10 anyway, so.
Yeah, 8 years it's guaranteed for, so that's what
Yeah.
you're looking at. Just a couple ideas. I've gone to an artificial turf expert architect firm out of New Hampshire. And he had a couple good ideas that I want to pass by you that I'm proposing, is that he said oftentimes with replacements, the residents don't even know you did it and they can't appreciate it. So they do something different. And what he suggested was putting a blue frame, a Newington High School blue, around the border, And then it was too expensive to do it on both sides, but on one side, right, Newington, you know, have it sewn in to the border. That would look pretty sharp and that would tell people, well, look, something new happened.
Yeah.
So
What do they do with all the old material though? Not the infill, but the green?
both products are recycled in different states.
Cause I've seen them sell that stuff too in rolls, like if somebody wanted, for whatever reason, backyard or inside a batting cage, that's, a discounted rate that,
They'd probably give it away too.
well, you could get something for it.
I'll bet you there's a whole lot of high school kids who would know that that field was done because a lot of them get shin splints on there now because
Yeah.
it's so flat. That they wouldn't need a blue line to know that it was done. They'd be like, yes. But
Yeah,
you did the
it's
test
definitely,
for it.
GMAX.
Yeah, the G-Max.
It's a big, the tricky part for this whole project is this. Is I have to juggle lacrosse and soccer ending on Father's Day. And then youth football coming in on the first week of August. So it's a very short window to construct. That's almost unheard of. So I'm trying to do all the upfront work, prepare it ahead of time so that we can get going. So we even helped write letters with the finance director to say if the budget is passed, Tim, is the budget April 18th or 19th, the final?
It's the end of April, I'm not sure exactly when.
Okay.
I think it's, I'm not sure, I think it's 18th and 19th.
So whatever that date is that's promoted to be the last day, what would happen was the finance director would write a letter to Field Turf and say, the council has approved this in the upcoming budget for July 1st with a vote last night of blah. However, we can't give you a purchase order until July 1st. Field Turf is perfectly willing to get the process going down in Georgia to start producing the product so that we could meet our time frame. So I'm at a very tight time frame if it happens at all.
Is that a big enough window for them to do it?
They think they can do it.
How much is in CIP this year for that?
I think 700 or 750. I'm not
And
positive.
what did we have before, 150 in there prior to that?
Yeah, we have how much we saved up over the years?
Yeah.
210.
Well, we must have, because if you're going for 10 years, it's
Yeah.
what, 50,000 a year?
They cut it.
It's been, they cut it.
Well, yeah. up and
One
down,
time it was
all that.
13,000, one time it was 50,
Yeah.
one time it was
Yeah.
25. Yep. But I think we're about 200, which is nice.
That's kind of like what you did with the lights.
Yes.
Legends.
Exactly. That's exactly what we did.
Two
Musco
payments, yeah.
Lighting was willing to take a gamble on the town also.
Two
All fine.
Oh, in the playground too. We did. Remember there was a 7-month
Yeah.
ordering of the
Well,
playground.
that's good business.
Yeah.
Okay. Bill, you want to take a shot at the motion?
I make a motion to approve the installation of replacement field turf at Clemlemere Field if the funding is approved by the town council and the capital improvement plan CIP budget.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, what's next? Proclamation?
So we have 2 proclamations about this time of year that we've done in the past. And I was hoping that you guys would endorse it and send it on to the town council. And then what happens oftentimes is invite the mayor to come to the ADA celebration at the concerts with free ice cream. That's when she talks about giving out free ice cream tickets and reading the proclamation and talking about it. And then also in July, our National Recreation Park Association celebrates the National July's Recreation and Parks Month. It's an awareness program for the town to kind of keep zero in on persons with disabilities and parks and recreation.
So they're 2 separate motions.
Yeah, 2 separate motions.
Rich, you want to read that motion, please? You got it there?
Yep. I propose to wholeheartedly accept the ADA proclamation and forward it on to the mayor and town council to proclaim the day at the town council meeting on June 27, 2023.
Can I have a second? Billy, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Oh, we got another proclamation, huh?
I think, is that, The recreation? July.
Yeah, July.
Thank you. Yep, so that's another motion.
Tom, you want to take a shot at that one?
Or is it?
The motion is to endorse the NRPA campaign. That July is Recreation in Parks Month. And request that the town council and mayor proclaim this month at the town council meeting on June 27th, 2023.
Can I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Beechwood Park, grand opening.
Yeah, just one-
Agreement?
Just want to remind you guys that, we haven't sent out any invitations yet or anything, but if you could write that down as a note, we should do that this week. We'll invite I called the mayor, she's gonna be on vacation, so usually she'll appoint like a substitute, oftentimes the mayor, not mayor pro temp, but deputy mayor, thank you. And we'll have a ribbon cutting ceremony, which at Beechwood Park. What's really, really nice is that Adil in our office cousin opened up a tropical smoothie on Fen Road. And they became a new sponsor of ours. And they they're going to be donating the first 100 people that sign up free smoothies and free wraps and free desserts from their company in return for advertisement. So that's really exciting. I did a Facebook Live, and the funniest thing happened. Adil put it on the Facebook, and within an hour, 67 people signed up for the Beechwood Park thing. And by the end of the day, we had a waiting list of over 100. So, if anyone asks you if Facebook doesn't work, holy cow, it's amazing.
those kids love that stuff.
Nice, yeah.
They waited in line at 5 o'clock in the morning to get a free smoothie for a month card. First 5 people, they were there 5 o'clock in the morning, yeah.
That's pretty neat. It's very exciting.
Any more questions before we go to motion? Ed, do you have the motion there?
Yes. I make a
Okay,
motion.
could you read it?
I make a motion to accept the public-private partnership agreement with Tropical Smoothie Cafe for the Beechwood Park grand opening event on Saturday, April 15th, 2023.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
And
passes.
you're all
Just one
invited to
second.
stop by 12 to 2.
That was what I was asking.
12 to 2?
Yeah, and we'll send out a flyer and an invitation this week.
Yeah, there's, I have a couple. There's copies. Oh, in the thing, all right. Yeah, but then we get the color one.
Okay, the next item is the Newington. Excuse me,
Okay.
country and food truck party sponsorship agreement.
Yeah, we have a bunch of agreements that I just wanted to make sure you knew about. They're self-explanatory. Just wanted you to see who the sponsorship levels are very good this year. People are coming out of the woodwork, so it's really, really, I'm thankful for it. Because otherwise we couldn't do what we're doing.
Bill, you want to turn that motion?
Make a motion to accept the 1,000 public-private partnership agreement with the Soccer Club of Newington to sponsor the hay wagon rides during the following special events at Mill Pond Park. Newington Goes Country on Thursday, June 8th, 2023, and Food Truck Friday on Friday, June 9th, 2023.
Thank you, Bill. Can I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. And we also have, we invite you to come to both of those events, and we also invite you to volunteer at the Beer and Wine Garden. And Melissa has a sign-up sheet towards the end of the meeting.
thank you. Oh, did you want the first thing?
It's Thursday and Friday.
Next is the sponsorship. for Geico.
What's that?
Next is the sponsorship for Geico.
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 Yeah. Maybe it's a rundown on that, or?
Oh, sure, I'm sorry.
I didn't want to wake you up, Bill. I
I'm
mean,
gonna read the motion. Okay, sorry. Yeah, Dave Johnson, great guy from Newington, is sponsoring. He came forward and sponsored the Newington Goes Country and Food Truck Friday. And normally he does a lot with Motorcycle Madness, but was happy to switch over and happy to see him advertising with us. We appreciate it.
Rich, you want to give it a shot?
Yes. I propose to accept the $2,800 public-private partnership agreement with Geico to sponsor the following events at Mill Pond Park. Newington Goes Country on Thursday, June 8, 2023, and Food Truck Friday on Friday, June 9, 2023.
Second? Bill, keep on time. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Nancy, not to put you on the spot, but do you know roughly how many food trucks we have so far?
Country, we had 9, Food Truck Friday 10, Extravaganza 11.
Beautiful.
Is the lobster truck coming?
I don't know off the top of my head, but.
They usually go.
The lobster truck was for the Water Lantern Festival, but we did reach out to them.
Yeah.
They've been around town a lot,
Yeah,
quite a bit.
I think Don said one time
Yeah.
last year, he had them in his
They were
parking
there,
lot.
Yeah, not too long
Yeah.
ago. Yep.
Okay, the next item is the Food Truck Friday sponsorship agreement, Berlin Stone and Mulch, LLC.
Yep, another friend of ours, Mike Calasal, who is doing the construction on Robbins Avenue in Maple Hill, has come forward but he owns another company called this Mulch and Stone, and he'd rather have that company get the advertising.
Nicole, you on?
Yep,
Ed,
I'm
you
on.
wanna
Jay.
try it? Oh, Nicole, can you read the motion?
Yep, I'll make a motion to accept the $1,600 public/private partnership agreement with Berlin Stone and Mulch LLC to sponsor Food Truck Friday on Friday, June 9th, 2023.
Thank you, Nicole. Second,
Second.
Ed. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Got a lot of motions here tonight.
The church.
Church of Christ Congregation.
Okay, this has been a nice relationship with Minister Melanie Enfield and the church. They give us $1,000 for X amount of ice cream sundaes. I don't remember if it was 150 or 175. 175, thanks, Sam. 175 ice cream sundaes. We get like 20 different toppings, and we bring out ice cream, and all the church, not all, about 20 church volunteers come under the tent, and people line up and they pour on all the toppings. And it's a great night for Wednesday to open up. That's the carnival, and then the ice cream sundaes and music and a concert. It's a good time. So that's Wednesday night of Life Being It.
Tommy, want to try the motion?
Motion to accept a $1,000 public-private partnership agreement with the Church of Christ Congregational for the Sundays on Wednesday event on Wednesday, July 12th, 2023 at Mill Pond Park.
Can I have a second, please? Billy? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Geez, you got another one? Oh,
Next.
Five more.
yeah. Wow.
Okay, so Flood Law is out of Middletown, and they've been a great sponsor for last few years. And they're willing to sponsor the craft beer night. So it's very exciting. That'll be a fun night as usual. And we're hoping that you guys will help us sell tickets. Billy de Blasio has the record so far of the most tickets sold for craft beer night. And
Try to beat it this year.
yes, there's a lot of fun going on at that place.
It's got a lot of beer buddies. That's what it is.
That's right.
There's more than beer there though.
Yeah.
Seltzers and
Seltzers and
all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff.
and a great band.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody remembers Booyah from Newington, Mike Profundo. And if for those of you know Steve Profundo, he's gonna sponsor the band, so it's free to us and it's like a couple $1,000. And it's gonna, they're wildly good for that beer. It'll be a great beer time.
95 degrees too.
Yeah, he's a music teacher. He's a music teacher at one of the one of the schools here in New England.
He's
Oh, Michael.
done with that.
Michael, what?
He's done with that. He's not there. He's on tour somewhere, I think.
I think he changed his mind.
Really?
Yeah, he came back. They offered him another opportunity.
Yeah.
Rich, you want to get the motion?
This was the.
It's on the screen too.
$1,600.
Floorball.
Okay, yeah. I propose a motion to accept a $1,600 public-private partnership agreement with the Flood Law Firm to sponsor craft beer night at Mill Pond Park, Friday, July 14, 2023.
Have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Next is the bridge.
Opposed? Okay. Motion passes.
Okay, so we got another generous possibility here with Cedar Ridge Construction and they want to be a presenting sponsor. So we haven't locked it totally down, but I thought because we were doing all the motions, we could get your approval for it and try to lock down all the details. Really exciting.
Wow.
Hey, do you want to take a shot at this one?
Sure. I don't see it. Okay, I got it. Oh, I had it.
Yeah. Oh,
There it is.
there it is.
I make a motion to accept the $10,000 public-private partnership agreement with Cedar Ridge Construction to be the presenting fireworks sponsor at the Life Being Extravaganza on Saturday, July 15th, 2023.
Can I have a second, please? All in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Next is the.
3-step sports agreement, lacrosse tournament.
Sam, we didn't do the B&M tree?
We didn't have an agreement yet because we didn't I think because we didn't decide exactly what they're sponsoring, but they are.
So B&M Tree just came forward recently on the phone and said, put us in for $2,000, use it any way you want. So that's, you'll see that probably next meeting, just to make it official. Which 3 steps?
Yeah.
3 steps forward, 2 back? No, 3 steps forward is a lacrosse organization that's gonna rent our facilities from us. And they found us through, if you remember, board that were on, people that were on the board before, we did the Corrigan Sports Lacrosse tournament out of Maryland and did that for 2 years, and they got tickets to the lacrosse thing at East Hartford. Well, a team from Boston called the Kings Lacrosse came and played in that. They loved it so much, they wanted to do their tournament here. They did it last year, as you recall. And now his partner, Chris, is down at the beach area of Connecticut, and he has his tournament in New Jersey, and we're stealing the New Jersey tournament and bringing it to Connecticut. So I'm very pleased about our relationships. I give a lot of credit to Sam. He's my right-hand man when it comes to trying to negotiate these deals with people. We talk to him and talk to him and talk to him and negotiate, and we finally come up with something. So very happy to see them come here and put Newington on the map again, and that's really important. And it's a great economic impact for Newington.
Nicole, do you have the motion here?
Can I just ask a question?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking at this agreement with them, and I know if it's a crappy day and they all park on the grass, that the grass gets torn up pretty bad. I don't see anywhere in here that they would agree to fix any damage to the
Yeah, it's not like the soccer tournament. It's not that many people. It's four fields
Yeah.
only.
Yeah.
And if they come and go, so there's plenty of parking. I was there, the last few years. It's, park like,
Okay.
Yeah, not like soccer.
Soccer, you're there for the day, right?
Yeah, soccer, you're there for a weekend. You might as well pick park up.
Nicole, are you there?
Yep.
Would you read it, please?
Sure. I'll make a motion to accept the three-step sports letter of agreement for the lacrosse tournaments on Sunday, October 1st and Sunday, October 8th, 2023.
Thank you, Nicole. Second?
Second.
Second by Rich. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes.
Okay, so this is the second part of their partnership, and the Connecticut Wolves is another lacrosse thing. They want, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't explain, the first and the eighth are high school girls and high school boys college showcase. So that will be kind of neat because colleges from all over, representatives will come and check out and scout players. Then this Wolves thing is a tournament. So they used to call it the Cranberry Tournament in Massachusetts, and we're stealing that and bringing it to Newington. I told him, how about the Nutmeg, Classic or something like that. So he's coming up with a name that's appropriate for Connecticut. He's not call it Newington if you want.
Bill, you want to give it a shot, please?
Yeah, sure. Make a motion to accept the Connecticut Wolves letter of agreement for the cross tournament on Sunday, October 15th, 2023.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Last motion.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Registration, do you want?
Sure.
to?
Yeah,
They were shit.
the next is reports, and we have a few statistics we wanted to share with you that are, I consider them pretty impressive, and I'll have Melissa, she put them together for us, so thanks.
So on the first day of spring registration, which was March 1st, the department took in $42,099.58 in program
That's why I see you in the
registration.
tax department.
You gotta bring down those deposits.
Yeah.
So just think about that, $43,000 in one day between, at that window over there and on our Rec Track software program. I mean, that's an impressive
Wow.
number of registrations.
That was from the first day, and then I have just a few other program numbers to share with you that the department is very proud of. So we have so far our Camp Recreate, which is children entering kindergarten through 8th grade. This is the first year that we're doing online registration for that, and we already have almost 100 children. This morning, when I looked at 11:30, we had 99 children registered so far for
Mhm.
Camp Recreate, which at this point in March is great. So
It's unheard of.
I think parents, I think, are really liking that online registration, and they're certainly encouraged to call the office during our office hours if they have questions regarding how to register online. But I think the numbers speak for themselves that it's a benefit to the department. Our Summer Sunshine program, which is our preschool age summer program, we have 12 children registered already for that. And once again, for this time in March to have that number, it's a great start to registration.
And that's an average of 12 per week for 9 weeks. So.
And for as far as aquatics, we have 4 spring classes for our parent and our preschool and parent class. And those are 6 participants per class with their parent or caregiver. And all 4 spring sessions are full. Also, our semi-private swim lessons for level 1, level 2, and level 3 are all full for the 4 spring sessions. And there's 2 participants in each of those classes. So we've had a great start to aquatics registration as well, and those classes began this week. A few other things that we wanted to share with the board is that our Zumba Gold class, which is one of our older adult classes that's held at the senior center, we have 56 participants registered for our spring session. It's one of our more popular older adult classes, but we thought that that was a great registration number to share. And 2 other programs that we wanted to make note of were our pickleball program, which is held here at the Mortensen Community Center Gymnasium. We have a maximum of 25 participants, and we already have 22 people registered for that program. And badminton continues to be a popular program that's held at the Mortenson Community Center, and we have 30 registrations in that so far out of 50, but if the trends continue by the time that the program starts, we are usually almost at that maximum. So from a standpoint from the Parks and Recreation Office, it's been a very successful start to spring registration. For
You guys got your
programming.
handfuls here, right?
Good job.
I think Nancy does, everything for aquatics, and today at our staff meeting, we discussed, we have a concern about WSIs, that means water safety instructors, so Nancy's trying very hard to market and advertise and encourage our lifeguards to get their WSI, and we're so desperate, we're offering free classes. If they get it, and Nancy, you can say a little more how much it costs and what we're gonna give them at what time.
Yeah, the class for WSI is $375. And then what we're offering is if they work for us for an entire summer, we will actually pay for them to take the class, what would be free for them. And they would get a 50-cent increase on their hourly rate.
So, we're always in search for lifeguards and WSIs, that's for sure. And it's an ongoing yearly challenge for us, but it's not unique to Newington, it's everywhere.
I will tell you, this is the first time I noticed, but there's signs up around the high school for Parks and Recreation looking for people, and right next to it is a sign for New Britain Parks and Recreation.
Well, rip it down.
I want to take those, I
Yeah.
have camera.
It's illegally posted. They don't have a permit.
That's right.
Get a hoodie then.
They're trespassing.
It's all planning and zoning.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know why you're not masking up.
There we go.
Yeah.
Whoever places that.
Yeah.
That was, I thought was like.
Oh, they're coming on our territory. I'm not liking it.
But that's like combat phase or something.
Bill, did that editorial that Melissa read get printed already?
Somebody told me it was in the Herald yesterday, so I don't
I
know.
think it was, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't, obviously.
Why, did you change something?
Well, no, we changed the minutes Eileen caught, and I don't know if we put the right one in there.
The ARPA thing, yeah, I don't know.
Who's to know, right?
Yeah, if it comes down to that.
Yeah.
No, Rosaline's knows, that's who knows.
Yeah, she'll be commenting.
Yeah.
She did already,
Oh,
because I posted,
You're kidding.
posted a thing online about, swimming, leading cause of death for children ages 1
Yeah.
to 3, we need a pool, blah, 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 and all about the funding, and I put the wrong one in there, and she's like, well, sorry.
Oh, well,
That's, if that's the worst we ever.
when you have got nothing
she's
else to
not
do, what do you
disagreeing.
expect?
Good.
Oh, she was.
Oh,
I don't know. I really think that it's important that the project get online before the meeting on the 28th so that people can come out and speak and know exactly what.
Well,
they're
wait a
speaking.
minute, isn't that on the website,
No.
the whole thing?
The
No,
the
The whole project?
The master plan is on. the
Yeah,
top
master
website.
plan.
but the master plan is old. The new project, this project that we have here.
Updated.
Yeah,
Updated.
the updated version is, I can't find it anywhere. I can't find a place to tell people to go look, and there's people saying, what's it look like? Where's it gonna be? What's it at? And what is the shape of it? The picture that we had on our packet last month is just, it's too gray. It's.
Can we get it on?
It doesn't copy well.
Melissa, can we
James
get
told
it?
the mayor that it was online 3 years ago.
Didn't they like run something on the Newington TV, just like the little thing like that?
Yeah.
It just comes up every hour, like on the hour. Put a little, this is the model, this is what it looks like.
Hey,
where
we
it's
started out
located.
with the letters to the papers, we might just go all the way now with
I think so.
Well,
pictures.
That's an easy place to tell people to tune in. They could look at it.
If we had a meeting off the books meeting that just invited the public to come and say, hey, this is what we got. This is what the plan is. This is what we're talking about. This is what the pool looks like. People are more apt to come to the town council and say, yeah, we want this, if they know what they want. Just if they want a pool, it's like, yeah, we need a pool, okay.
We
But they
do,
don't know
we,
what they're talking about yet.
we don't know if that's on the agenda though next week, right?
Not yet.
No,
Not yet, right?
Put a message in it.
99% of the public doesn't know what's going on in town
That's no business.
business, and
I know, but
that's why
like,
budgets get passed.
I
And
think more people read about Parks and Recreation and read about the town council, based on how many people go to the meetings and how many people tune in. I think more people, there's more hits on the Parks and Rec website.
Well, it
It's
affects
out
more
there,
people.
or if we said, hey, got any questions, come on, we'll come and meet with you guys or whatever. You know, you're gonna get somebody, or you're gonna get somebody to support. I don't know, I've been to the swim team a couple times, asking them to come out and support and, you know, this is what we're talking about. I talked to the coach, I talked to the assistant coaches. I talked to some of the kids who are, they're all chicken to come to the parks, to the town council meeting, but I'm like, you come on Zoom and just read it, nobody will see your face, it doesn't matter. You know, but they're, I don't know, they're just chicken, but I'm hoping that at least the coach of the swim club will come and the assistant coach and maybe
What feeling you get? You getting any feeling out there
about
about the pools?
people don't know what they don't know what they're supposed to come and like because they haven't seen the pictures of it all. They don't know what the project is. They know there's a pool that's supposed to go over there. They don't know if it's, you know, there's some that are feeling that we want the Taj Mahal. And we don't want the Taj Mahal, we just want a pool.
They
you
know the deficiencies that exist, but they
Yes,
don't know.
but they don't know what they're going, they know that that's gotta go, but they don't know what this is gonna be.
They
you
don't
know?
know what their
they-
new options.
Yeah, and they wanna know what they're gonna get, you know what I mean? Like they know it's a good opportunity, but they gotta know.
How much would it get on the internet, on the town,
TV.
do we get something on the town, website?
I believe, again, I'm not good at that because I don't see, but I was told that the mayor was told by James that it was on, the master plan was on.
I know that.
I'm getting.
Well, it's quite a long thing too, because I went on it, it's quite long.
Yeah, the old master plan is on there, like from,
The book like we got.
yeah, the
I
old
wish I had
master plan,
that.
that's old. That's
That
old.
was a 20-year.
Yeah, I. gave
Oh,
mine
no,
to
not-
somebody here.
No, not that one. I thought it was from TLB Architect 3 years ago.
But I don't think the plan from 3 years ago matches the plan that we have now. The plan from 3 years ago had bells and whistles in there and everything. That's why people think, you know, they think,
No.
oh, you want a lazy river? No.
No, the Lazy River was
Churchill.
Playgrounds and Churchill blueprints, the large printouts.
You didn't see anything hanging or anything
Not in Roderick's office, no.
behind his door. We have a colored picture. I think we'll find it. We'll try to find it in.
There's a colored picture, but it's like this black thing that you don't see what it looks like. We had a picture in our packet last month that was a black and white picture that was a geometric, like from looking from top down, that this is what the shape of the pool would be, and it had little like words about, okay, this is the 8-lane section, this is the 0 depth entry, you know, but it was really gray and hard, and when I tried to copy it to put it out there, you couldn't see what it was. It was just, the words were too hard to get there. But they just need to have some explanation. And I know ours is really long and, you know, but if people are interested and want to know.
They also sent out a survey to the town people that has one question about Parks and Recreation in it.
Yeah,
You saw
one of
that?
those questions that you can't answer yes or no to,
Yeah.
you know,
I
you look
get
at it and go, you know, I don't know what they're talking about, like, you know, it's hard, it's very hard.
And it didn't give any prices or anything, so.
Do you want a new pool?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Is it free? Okay.
yeah, but you
take
know,
it.
it's not, it's a terrible, I don't know, it's the bad survey. I think the questions are too broad. It's not a yes or no question, like, you know, sure.
All right.
Well, I don't know how we get anything on there before next week anyways. Do you? Anybody got any ideas?
I don't know if you wanted to send out something to our Rec Connect, you know, from our website. I don't know if that's feasible or
Like
not.
a reverse thing for people that are registered, I mean?
People that have registered for programs that are use Parks and Recreation.
And a lot of people, not everybody, but.
Maybe just the aquatics people. I don't know.
Are our meetings saved on YouTube like they are? So that presentation that Mike Fortuna gave to us,
Yep.
Is
On the town YouTube page.
so
Yeah.
that could be like pulled out of there and, you know, people could look at it, like it could be, sent out on the Facebook page of Parks and Rec. Here's a presentation of the pool. And you
Yeah,
could,
you should be able to send a link and do a timestamp or something.
yeah, here's a pool.
Yeah, you can't just crop out that entire section.
Yeah,
I mean, you'd probably have to screen record, or I don't know if you can download YouTube video and crop, but you could do something with that.
that would be,
Like say there's a couple hundred people that buy pool passes or a couple hundred or 1,500 that take swim lessons. Maybe you tell them to go to the town website and check out the presentation about the pool. Is that what you're saying?
I think that,
Maybe just like,
yeah.
Anybody
Everybody
interested?
could. If
Or
you-
anyway?
Yeah, if you could cut that little, you know, the presentation he gave out and post it on the Facebook page and say, here's a presentation about the pool. And that way, at least people would have a place to go to look at it, and then other people could say, you know, it could be shared. And I think it would,
Oh,
Just
why don't we just go on, put it on Facebook? A
well,
couple of pictures.
that's what I'm saying, put it on Facebook, put the presentation, not just a couple of pictures, the whole
Yeah.
presentation, and say, here, you wanna know what it looks like?
Just
Here
a
you go."
factual, yeah.
Right, here you
Yeah.
go, and
What he
it's
told
granted,
us.
it's kind of long, but at least people can't say, we didn't try to tell them what it was, because I think there's, you know, some confusion in about like, okay, what am I supporting? Because I don't know what it is. I haven't seen the picture. I haven't, and I know why. I get why for a long time it wasn't out there, but that time is come and gone, so it's time to put it out there, you know?
You know, we're like between a rock and a hard place. It's just like the taxes.
Mhm.
People don't find out
Yeah.
until July that their taxes went up because they all got mortgages.
Right.
You know, it's, you.
Mm.
Oh,
Well, I mean, we could attach at least the information to these people and let them know by email
Right.
and say,
Go to the Facebook page and watch the presentation.
and make your own decision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make your
exactly.
own
Make an informed
evaluation or
choice.
whatever,
Yes,
you know.
yes. I think that would be
Can we
smart.
come up with something like that this week?
Doer over here could do it. He's got it down, right?
yeah, you can download that.
All right, we'll write a
And
little,
let's see what it brings.
that's what you want, that's what you'll get.
Thank you.
Then I'll get another call.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Well, I guess you can't argue with the facts out there, right? You just let it out there.
Everybody make an informed decision.
Yeah,
That's all we
right.
want. Be
Right.
informed.
At least make an informed decision.
Yes.
Well, you're right. You can't keep the people in the dark.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Problem, yeah.
Yeah, what
This
things
is
are they
what we-
talking about? Yeah.
this is what we're
Especially
working
with that-
on.
that kind of money involved, and
Yeah.
it's like, why didn't you tell us this?
Absolutely, you know.
You're gonna give up $5 million? Yeah.
They'd be more mad at that than they were with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we can try to work on
Yeah,
that.
let's work on something, see if we can get something
Maybe I should
on
put,
Facebook.
yeah. Maybe we put your editorial and say below is the link that
That's
describes,
not a bad idea either.
yeah, that describes the
The second one, the one with the money and
Yeah, the
everything,
one
right?
Melissa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, guys in agreement with that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys want that?
can't hurt, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, park and ground staff update.
Yeah.
You got anybody working for you, Bill?
I have a joke that I use sometimes. People say, how many people work for you? It's about a half. No, hey, we have a great staff, great team. I just told them this morning at the staff meeting how wonderful and proud I am of them.
I watch it though, start looking for raises.
Yeah. Steve, I don't know if I mentioned to you that Steve Tofel got a promotion and he's now our official foreman of the Parks and Grounds part. And he's doing a wonderful job. So I'm happy to report.
He's a pretty smart kid.
Yeah, he's very smart.
Did someone take his spot?
Not yet, but we are in negotiations to promote a 4, 2 3s, and 2 2s. So we're getting there.
Good.
Yep. All right, what's next?
What else we got?
What? Oh, just wanted to let you know, Melissa and I worked on a $158,000 grant to AARP. And that is to build that pavilion at the municipal parking lot again and use it for the farmer's market and Halloween and Christmas and concerts, et cetera. We tried doing it for someone else. It was like not Cox, but maybe somebody anyway.
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile had a grant out there that we thought this would fit. We didn't get it, but we're using the same kind of grant and changed it up a little bit and applying for AARP's community grant. So we're trying to raise money and bring money into the town, and nothing ventured, nothing gained. Kindness Counts is starting up, and Sam's heading that up for us. And any of your neighbors, friends, relatives that do anything nice that you know of, all you have to do is get online. It's very simple. You say their name, address, and what they did, one sentence. They baked you an apple pie, they shoveled your driveway, they brought you to the doctor, whatever. Let us know and we'll have our volunteers bring a sign out to them.
Good.
Anything else?
Beechwood Park, grand opening.
Yep, we talked about that already. That's the 15th of April. Come on out, 12 to 2.
And a parade.
Parade is Memorial Day on Saturday. And anybody that wants to march with us, the Parks and Rec Department, we usually put our veterans trailer in there. We have our train and we have a golf cart and we have candy that we usually throw out to the kids. Eileen is always there. Tim Mackey's always there. But I don't know if anyone else wants to participate, but we can get you a ride if mobility is an issue. Or you can walk with us and we have music playing. It's quite fun, actually. It's a fun time. Oh, we hand out a ton of free ice cream cones at the concession stand, certificates to the kids or the parents.
Okay, guys, I sweat my ass off every time
Yeah.
because I'm running up and down both sides looking like an idiot. I
Yeah.
could really use some help. Crazy.
Rich,
Happy for Memorial Day.
you're in shape, Rich, for that.
Doesn't mean I want to run. Tired of running.
You are? Okay.
Elite basketball tournament.
Memorial Day weekend,
Yeah,
it's
just
a
wanna-
basketball tournament.
Yeah, just for the record again, just an example of, we scheduled an elite basketball tournament many moons ago. And we realized it's on the Memorial Day parade day as part of one of the days. So what we did is we made arrangements for parking. And we have 2 school buses that are we've tell the elite to park at the alumni road football stone parking lot. And we're gonna shuttle bus the elite basketball people into the bus garage over there. They're gonna walk up to the gym and play. And that'll be from 7:30 in the morning until 1:30 that Saturday. And then by then, the whole parade will be cleared out. And then people can come in and park normally. So we're trying to work with the town and recognize the parking situation and do the best we can to make it work.
What's the age group of that?
Sam, I don't know.
I think it's mostly that's
Middle school. Could be 4th at middle to 8th, but yeah.
It's a group with Elite's part of it, but it's a thing called Zero Gravity Basketball, so it's Elite got it for them with me.
Nice.
Good job.
Anything else?
Okay, Newington Cross Country, Thursday, June 8th, 2023.
Ask about the volunteers.
Oh, volunteers.
Sign.
That's right.
Passed it.
You passed it already. So we were just gonna ask you if you wanted to volunteer to pour beer or wine at our booth. So Melissa passed that signature thing around.
Oh, you know what? I gotta
And we
send-
won't let you
I
out,
gotta send Tim up.
in
He's
the
my
cold.
assistant.
Tim.
Oh, no, that's not the wrong, that's the wrong Friday.
I'll be there also. I just don't know what times yet.
Craft beer night.
Just like
Sorry.
last time, I'll email you a week out. Hey, put me in if you
Certainly.
need me.
Great, thank you, guys. That way we don't have to pay staff to do it. It's volunteer.
Yeah,
work.
it's a fun night.
And it's fun.
Even if you just do one shift.
Yeah, a couple hours, it's not hard to pour beer or wine and you meet a lot of friends too.
Grab a bite to eat.
It's quite nice. I've got, yeah, it'll be good. Anything else? Sir? That's it. Comments by the board.
Any comments?
Sounds like you guys are doing a heck of a job and you keep up the good work. Patience, bless you.
Thank you. No one got any comments or?
Oh, I have one.
Go ahead.
one quick one.
Billy?
I mentioned to Bill earlier, the Newington Fire Company one, they're wrapping for autism. They're wrapping one of the fire trucks for a year. And if you want to be a donor, you can donate. So there's a whole criteria you can follow, but it's fire department. I belong to Berlin. We donated $500. The cause, hopefully they can raise a ton of money.
Just a FYI, there are people in the autism community that don't like that puzzle piece thing anymore, so.
No, I'm not involved. I thought it was pretty cool. that
I
they
think it's awesome, but I got a little pushback from some people, and there are some people in the
would-
autism
Anything you
community.
can push back.
I know, it's just like, sorry, no.
One good, two bad.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Can't
God.
make everyone happy, right?
You know,
Yeah.
but it's gonna go all over the state for a year.
The wrapping up that, wow. that's
Yeah, and the
pretty
guy's committed to doing that, which is huge. too,
And
so,
that's company one.
Yeah,
That's really nice.
cool. I know, it's awesome. It's like,
What are
sorry.
you doing, one truck?
yeah, it costs, I think Bubba said $7,500 to wrap it.
Came undone.
It's nice.
And how do they undo that?
I would think it's heat related, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It must be like the stock car, the stock cars, right?
Yeah, I have,
They heat it off?
took a picture of the
Really
flyer
neat.
last night. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it looks like.
I think there was a picture on Facebook of that, wasn't it?
Yep, it
That's
was
cool.
very cool.
Yeah.
And will it still be an active truck that like fight fires?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think
Yeah.
they'll probably not have it, I don't know if it's a primary piece, but
Yeah.
I'm guessing they'll do it
It's,
as a
it's
second.
engine one. It'll just
It's
stay on.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, if it's out of town at a school, obviously, it's not gonna be a primary piece.
Yeah, just swap it out.
It'd be kind of neat if it was in different grades.
It did a woman's, breast cancer
Yeah.
about 5 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, engine 3.
Would they do paint? Would they do
for a
paint?
year.
Mhm.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
and now it's like you said, it's for a year, and there's a list of places that they go with it.
Well, they're hoping to make a good donation, so for a little bit,
Yeah.
it's for a good cause. So the kids will enjoy it too, the ones that like it.
Any other comments?
Wait, we could have it come to like the after-school program here on a Tuesday where the kids are all here. And we could also show the preschool kids, have it visit. No, we could do a few things. Summer camp, it could visit. Get notoriety.
Yeah, I don't know what their setup is, if they're
Yeah.
gonna like, hey, we're gonna go to Norwich Public Schools and
Oh, I see.
the school's gonna donate $500,
Oh,
so.
okay.
Or they're gonna buy T-shirts,
Yeah.
they're gonna sell T-shirts, they're gonna, they're trying to do a good thing.
Yeah.
Tim, good night. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, Bill, I'll get you the contact
Okay.
and it's who's.
Bubba was the one that brought it up to our attention. It just came, he just had a flyer, so it wasn't a formal presentation, but Stegmeyer and Traumer, I think Stegmeyer's running the whole thing.
AKA Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Bubba.
Well, if there's no more comments. Entertaining.
Thank you, everybody.
Motion to return.
Second.
All in favor? We're adjourned.
Boy, so Don is sick, huh? That's bad.
He's supposed to be coming home.
Yeah.
When's he supposed to come home, Ed?
I'll be there with you this Memorial Day.